Bobby Bones, Raw Food City. We are at the finale. Yeah, baby. How you doing? So, a few crazy things happened to me at the end of day 10, right? Day 10 was Saturday, and the Super Bowl was Sunday. So, I began bringing in fruits, okay? So, I had a bunch of fruit, grapes, blueberries, cherries, berries and stuff like that, watermelon, and the obvious stuff, when you're coming off a fast, when you're starting to bring back in solids. And everything was fine. And then on Super Bowl Sunday, I had a giant salad. Well, and this is just the first thing I'm telling you about. The second thing, and this is all part of my journey, because this vlog is really an important journal for me. And it's not the happiest finale for me. Is it happy in a way? Because remember, failure equals success, right? So by me failing and understanding and going through the ups and downs of this, I am becoming a better me, right? So I completely failed on the return again. And I've done this so many times because I've had multiple fasts on this journey, and I'm always like, okay, this time I'm going to get it right. But I just jump back into solids way too fast, and my body just can't process it, And on Monday, I got it back. It was really hard to go, and I'm breathing on a bone, I'm straining, and boom, the pain comes back, and I break the wall again. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, man. Here I am, I'm like pain-free for days, wonderful, wonderful, happy, jumpy, and I bring in the solids again, and it wasn't a lot of green, it was mostly romaine and stuff like that, but I think salad right now, I have to put aside, maybe just juice my greens for now, and kind of go like more fruitarian, right? And figure it out that way, to repair the wall, because the wall is a mess, and I'm still working on that. But then something else crazy happened, and I feel it right now as we speak, and I'm really worried about it, and it kind of blows. It does. And now I don't know if it's mental right now, but I'm almost like, I don't know what to do, and I'm hoping tomorrow's a better day. But yesterday, the craziest thing happened to me, and let me explain to you what I've been doing. So because of the broken wall, my colon, whatever, the hemorrhoid, I started weaning off nut butters, right? Because I'm like, okay, if I just pull back on the fats, maybe it'll just make it flow better. And other people said substitute with fiber and stuff, but I think just whole foods in a whole is giving me an issue. It's almost like I need to go like on a month water fast or something to really properly heal. Or I just do what I should have done for the longest time and just do a solid, 100-day juice fast, and be strict about it. See, here's the thing. On my last few fasts, I've cheating kind of on and off. You've seen it with the little pinch of green here, and my teas. And my teas have been off the charts. And in the morning, I've been taking a tablespoon of Manuka honey, right? And putting my vitamin D3 on that, and and eating a spoonful of the vitamin D3. And I've been using maple syrup with my chicory root. So I've been having a few of those, right? So the more tea I'm consuming, basically in a nutshell, I went from fat to sugar. Because the sugar wasn't binding me, right? But it was relieving the cravings of the fats. And I'm bringing in calories, right? So I'm putting a spoon of Manuka honey in my mouth. I'm doing the maple syrup. I'm drinking teas now. Sometimes if the tea is boring, I'll put a packet of raw sugar in there. I got out of control with the sugar and fast. And what happened yesterday was mind-blowing. And I don't know if I'll ever get rid. That experience blew me away, and I hope to God this never happens to anybody or happens to me again. And just talking about it, I feel like a little light, a little airy in the right leg, which is really weird. So I don't know if I turned like straight diabetic overnight. I mean, I always had like circulatory issues when I was heavy, and that was like the obvious stuff. I mean, I'm heavy, so like if I'm driving a car a long time, if my right foot was going to sleep, like I remember like, you know, there being issues with my feet and limbs, okay? And in my journey, that slowly went away, you know, losing the weight, exercising, that went away. But last night it came back in full form. Let's just go to the story and then we'll talk after. So this is the line we waited on for 2 hours, 34 degrees, and raining. Crazy. I thought it was a thing you said when you say, I can't feel my feet, they're frozen. Well, today it happened for the first time, and for real. For an hour or two, outside. It was 34 degrees, and raining, so it was cold. So I was running back in and out of a tea shop, which was cool. They thawed a little bit. It's still frozen. So when we went to the Rachel Ray studio, that studio was freezing as well. And guess what? In the middle of the show, I couldn't feel my foot. My right foot. I thought my foot was sleeping. So I get up and I'm shaking the foot. I'm like, okay, it's sleeping, okay? I was just sitting weird. No, it's still numb. And I'm like, this is crazy. Now I'm like in panic mode, because I've never felt this before in my life. And I leave. Now the studio's in a panic. They're trying to fill my seat because a guest just left the show. Not a guest, but like an audience guest. So they're trying to fill the seat. I'm in the bathroom with my foot under the blower. Security comes in and goes, is everything all right? I'm like, no, I can't feel my foot. And one of the floor supervisors were like, well, maybe we can find you a space heater. Then one of the producers comes up and goes, listen, there's no space heater. What's your problem? I'm like, I can't feel my foot. It's frozen. So I'm like, I'm leaving. That's it. I just ran down the stairs in a panic, no less, because I still can't feel my foot. So I'm running to the friggin' car garage, limping, because, again, and I thought this was all BS, but my foot was about to go into gangrene mode, whatever, frostbite. I friggin' run to the garage, get the car, and now I'm in the car praying that it's cold and not like a nerve problem or something. Like my foot's cold. I just throw on the heat. The guy at the garage, I'm like, please get the car. I'm gonna die. I get in the car and I'm blasting the heat, and I'm praying. I'm literally praying to God. I'm like, please, God, just bring my foot back. Please bring my foot back. And it finally started thawing out, and I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe it. No, I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. So, sorry about the chat, because this show wasn't snappy, but if there's pros and cons to eating clean, this was definitely a con. Because never in my life has that happened to me before. Welcome to the skinny world, I guess. The clean skinny world. Yo, so that was the story from my Snapchat. I made that video. I was in the car with the heat blasting while I was taping that. My leg was still thawing. It was a very crazy experience. And one of my good friends from Vitality NYC, Mike Perrine, who's done my colonics, the video is in my videos, my first colonic. He has been raw for years and years and years. And he messaged me on that Snapchat and said that you should go get that checked out. You have a circulatory issue. This is not a eating clean issue or a raw food issue. And I immediately began, and I know diabetes and stuff like that, that's like the first signs, and I'm thinking about all the stuff that I've been consuming. I'm like, oh my God, this has to be this new sugar craving that I have. And it lowered my foot blood and basically turned my foot into an icicle. Now, look, I was sitting with some older women, my stepmom and her friends, and one of her friends, Marilyn, had an issue with her foot. She's like, my feet are still freezing because the studio was really cold. The outside was freezing. We're out there freezing. It's 34 degrees out. And it's raining, and we're out there, and it's freaking cold, and you're standing on the cement, and I got dress shoes on. I don't have boots on. I thought I had these wool socks on, but I swear these like Costco wool socks, like they're supposed to keep you warm, actually make my foot colder because I'm probably sweating in there, and it's like doing reverse. So those socks don't work, by the way. So, man, I can't believe this, but here I am thinking, okay, I gotta bring in the fruits. And now I'm afraid of the fruit because I've been ODing on sugar. So this is what I'm gonna do. And this is what I'm doing today, obviously. I cold turkeyed all the sugar, all the extra sugar I've been putting in. Because not on top of the carrot juice that we've done, I'm having a little bit of honey whenever I have like a weird craving or anything, and I have the maple syrup chicory tea, coffee, whatever. And here's another thing that happened. I want to talk about this, is that when I was running into the cheese shop, I'm buying teas. Argo Tea, nice place. It was like Starbucks of tea. So, and they're showing all the organic farms on the TV and the plant and where they get it from. I'm like, wow, this place is pretty cool. So I have this organic red tea. I pound it. And it was strong, so I added the raw sugar. I don't know. I've just been hooked on it lately. I don't know what it is. So I added the raw sugar, and then I had this green. Then I go back, because I'm cold. So I'm standing out there I'm like a half an hour. I'm like, oh man, I can't stand out here. I'm going back in. So I go back in, I buy another tea. This one was the green tea. And again, it's very strong, it's very fancy, and I dump another raw sugar in it, right? And I take a raw sugar packet in case I get a little funky in the place. So I'm sitting in the waiting room, everyone's snacking on free goodies that they're giving you at the show. And I crack open the friggin' raw sugar packet. I'm chewing on the little granules. I'm like, this is delicious. Wow. right? Well, I'm drinking the sugar tea. So right there, there's an issue, man. If that ain't a warning sign, I don't know what is, because my body was just like, that's it. The sugar party's over. And what's wonderful about that is because I'm clean, right? I get to feel things faster. Like, especially like if I bring in wine or a potato, like it's instant for me. I'm like, whoa. I mean, if I smell wine, I get drunk now. So this all happened. So Kareem texts me. He's like, yo, you got a circulatory issue. So now I'm going through the thing in my head. I'm like, oh my God. It's sugar. It's all the sugar I've been consuming on top of the juice. And I'm like, oh my. I was like, I hope I didn't give myself freaking a diabetic coma overnight. Like, what happened? So, I mean, I still feel a little weird in my foot. Obviously, it's back. It thawed out in the car. It was definitely a cold issue, but also a circulatory issue, because no normal person should have to run out of a studio that's 50, 60 degrees with their foot numb from being too cold. Like, and I had to thaw it in a car. So there's 100. Now, I was starting to feel, I've had some cold issues before. We were walking around in Winter Wonderland that they set up here in Staten Island, and we went down there, and it was like way below 32. And, you know, I had boots on and those wool socks, and there was only a certain amount of time I could even cope with that weather. My feet, my hands, you know, my hands and feet have been cold lately, and I'm thinking, okay, it's just a new way of life. But, you know, Mike woke me up to a thing where you gotta relax on the sugar thing. And man, I'm telling you, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm gonna find a medium. This is a sad and exciting video all at once. I'm running out of time, and I want to get all this in there. So I'm going to try to make more daily, because I lose track, and then there's things I want to talk about that I really can't talk about, because then it falls out of the track of what we're going. So anyway, peace and love, Raw Food City. That's my finale. And thanks for following it. Thanks for I'll answer. There was some questions too that I could answer on tomorrow's video, hopefully. Okay, so peace and love again, yo. Raw Food City over and out. Bobby Buns.